What's poppin'? Alright, so today we're going to be making a Jack Harlow type beat. Before we get started though, feel free to follow me on Instagram as well as join the Discord. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm using a BPM of 100. 100 to like 105 is really good for these types of beats as it'll create a lot of bounce once we add the drums. First sound we're going to use today is this guitar called the Wonderlust guitar from my new one-shot/analog bank Grailed. My overall goal with this bank was really just to create sounds that will become staples in your production for hopefully years to come, as I did like a perfect kind of mix between both real sounds as well as synth sounds. If you don't have analog labs, it doesn't matter, as I converted everything in this bank into one-shots as well. So here we're going to create a really basic repetitive pattern. Key for these types of beats is to do that with like multiple sounds, and that's what's going to create tons of bounce. Start with like F minor, and then let's strum this. Something like this. Then we're going to leave a lot of space in between things because we're going to fill it up with other instruments in a bit. Alright, then we're going to pop this up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whenever you do this with a chord, it's going to sound good. You can move it up or down. Yeah, perfect. Super simple, super bouncy. Slight variation right here. For now, I'm just going to cut out some low end. Now, if you're wondering what's popping next, we're going to be adding a flute. So if you look at my bank right here, we just got this Neverland flute. And I'm just going to use this to kind of fill up these empty spaces right here. Perfect. That G over there. Alright, let's hear this. There's still some empty space here, but that's totally fine. You kind of want a little bit, as when we add our drums, everything's just going to be bouncing off each other, and it's going to create like a really dope bounce. And also no effects on this one, just cutting out some low end. Alright, next sound we're going to add from this bank is the twisted piano, just like a piano sound. Now in terms of the logic for this, I really just focus on notes that I already played throughout the other melodies. And so that's why you have this D and this C right here. And I kind of chose the D and the C because it creates a bunch of repetition, and of course it just sounded good. Towards the end over here, I kind of went down and then up, similar to what happens right here with this kind of flute melody, just with different notes. Didn't put any effects on this except just cut out some of the low end and some of the highs as well. You guys ever wonder what Jack Harlow's life is like? I really just imagine that this happens all the time. Are you Jack Harlow? Always wanted to say this. What's poppin'? No more what's poppin' jokes. If I pop another one. Next thing I want to do, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to leave this in the beat, but a lot of Jack Harlow's beats lately have kind of started with a bass line and then switched into an 808. So right here I got my legendary black bass from my analog bank / one-shot bank Blacklight. If you need bass lines, this is definitely the bank that you're going to want to get. Definitely want this F. That sounds pretty cool. So you can leave it like that, or if you want to kind of make it a little more bouncy and make sure it still sounds good, you do something like this. Pop this up right here, bring that back down, and then do the same thing over here. It's a little bass line trick for you. A little bonus sauce for the day. See how this sounds. Yeah, sounds dope for like an intro. Alright, so now on to the drums. Drums are super critical for these types of beats as we're going to bounce everything off of our melody. Today I'm going to be using my drum kit Graffiti. This is my go-to drum kit. This is the one I use the most just because it works for any different type of beat, especially for like these mainstream artists. So yeah, pay close attention here so you can make sure, you know, you're creating a good bounce. If you listen, you can kind of hear the hi-hats are hitting at the same time as the 808. That creates like a lot of bounce. It's almost kind of like West Coast-y, but I think it sounds dope, and I definitely think it sounds like something I could hear Jack on. Now, all I'm going to do is copy this over, add this kick right here. Honestly, I don't even know if I need a kick with this 808. There we go. Before I play the beat, real quick, one thing that I did was kind of interesting was I ended up just chopping up this beginning part with both the keys and the guitar and just kind of had it repeating right here. And if you look here, this is just going for one bar right here and here, and then I kind of just chopped it in half so it would be a little bit more repetitive towards the end. And then I just added an 808 every time that it kind of hit and restarted the loop right here. So here's how it sounds.